Poor communication is a major challenge that affects organizational success and employee productivity. In many organizations, communication gaps between management and employees or even among team members can result in misunderstandings, conflict, low morale, and reduced efficiency. Effective communication is very crucial for aligning goals, sharing information, solving problems, and fostering a healthy work environment. In today's dynamic business world, where change and uncertainty are common, strong communication becomes even more critical. When communication fails to deliver, the entire operation of the organization may be compromised, leading to missed opportunities and workplace dissatisfaction. Therefore, this study will explore the impact of poor communication in organizations, identify the main causes, and suggest practical solutions to improve communication practices in the workplace. Now, let's move on. In this study that we have provided and observed, there are 6 main objectives that we will be discussing and identifying. First, determine the causes of poor communication which leads to lack of trust and confidence. Second, assess the impact of poor communication on organizational effectiveness. Third, understand how poor communication can create frustration and inefficiency. After that, explore how it affects employees' engagement and retention. Next, evaluate how clear communication can enhance employees' performances. Lastly, examine how ineffective communication affects employers.
Alright, next we are going to the next part, which is identification of the issue. Number 1. Gaps in information sharing. Authorities are not effectively sharing information, leading to misunderstandings and miscommunication. Number 2. Unclear or unengaging communication. Even when useful programs are launched, the messaging is not strong or appealing enough to capture attention. Number 3. Human errors lure to poor communication. Poor communication, along with fatigue, distraction, and experience, contributes to human errors and accidents, especially in high-risk environments. Number 4. Weak internal communication in corporates. Ineffective internal communication in customer service roles leads to employee burnout, confusion, workplace crisis. Number 5. Common international challenge. These communication issues are not unique to Malaysia, but are also present in countries like Nepal, showing a broader regional or global concern. Number 6. Public disconnection from the government. Unclear information and weak public engagement are making Malaysians feel disconnected from their leaders. Number 7. Public left uninformed or misunderstanding policies. As a result of weak communication, people either misinterpret or are unaware of policies, making it harder for them to benefit from the government initiative. Number 8. Lack of transparency in government communication. Big policy decisions are sometimes made without clear public communication, leading to confusion and declining public trust. Number 9. Poor organizational communication and conflict. Ineffective communication within the organization can worsen interpersonal conflicts, trigger workplace aggression or even violence, and create an environment of mistrust, disrespect, and lack of support. Lastly, neglect of paradigmatic communication. Important non-verbal aspects of communication like tone of voice, body language, facial expression often overlooked despite being crucial to effective communication.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Now, let's move on to the discussion of key issues identified in our article review. This 10-point highlight how poor communication affects both public institutions and private organizations in a serious way. Firstly, local government communications gaps. Local government are facing major communication issues due to unprepared staff, weak technical proficiency, and a lack of proper communication strategies. As a result, the public often feels disconnected and excluded, leading to dissatisfaction and reduced trust in local authorities. Secondly, overlook non-verbal communications. In addition to verbal message, communications also depends heavily on non-verbal cues such as body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. However, these aspects are frequently ignored in organizations, even though they play a vital role in how people interpret meaning and emotion in the workplace. Thirdly, internal crisis among customer service officers. Moreover, in customer service environments, unclear instruction from management and inconsistent internal message have led to confusion and high stress among employees. The study shows that strong communication strategies are essential for preventing internal crises and maintaining employee satisfaction. The fourth article is communication failures in high-risk industries. Similarly, in high-risk industries such as maritime shipping, communication failures combined with fatigue and lack of experience can result in serious workplace accidents. The study emphasized that proper and timely communication is not only important for operational efficiency, but also essential for ensuring safety and preventing human errors. Fifth, poor policy communication. On the government level, policy announcements are often inconsistent and confusing. Without a clear spokesperson, the public receives mixed messages, which result in misunderstanding and reduce confidence in government decisions. 6. Lack of transparency in government. In addition, the lack of transparency and the government reactive communication style have further weakened public trust. Vague messaging and poor engagement strategies have created a sense of distance and dissatisfaction among citizens. The seventh article is Unity Government Admissions. Even Prime Minister Anwar has openly acknowledged that the Unity government is struggling to communicate effectively. This admission highlights how poor communication has led to confusions and a lack of public awareness regarding key national policies. 8. Failed youth engagements. Furthermore, the government has failed to connect with youth audience. Many young people are unaware of programs meant for them because the communication lacks clarity, timeliness, and appeal. This missed opportunity affect both youth development and policy impact. 9. Workplace conflict and aggressions. Not only that, but in organizational settings, unclear roles and poor communication increase tensions among employees. These conditions may escalate into interpersonal conflict or even workplace aggressions, especially when staff feel unsupported or misunderstood. Lastly, government strategy failure. Finally, the government overall communication strategy is failing due to lack of public engagements and low transparency. This has resulted in confusions, misinformations, and growing distrust in leaderships, indicating a serious need for reform.
Through a few important points about communication in an organization. First, communication is one of the most important aspects of any organization. It is the key to making sure everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goals. Second, when communication breaks down, it can have a negative impact, not just on the organization itself, but also on the people in it. Tasks become harder and teamwork becomes less effective. Third, poor communication often leads to misunderstandings, mistakes, also even a lack of trust between team members. And when trust is lost, it is very hard to regain. And finally, that is why it is so important for organizations to ensure their communication is clear, concise, and effective. With good communication, everything else becomes easier, from solving problems to achieving success together. Now, I would like to share a few recommendations to improve communication within an organization. First, organizations should invest in communication training, which helps employees understand why communication is so important, and more importantly, how to do it effectively in different situations. Second, there should be a clear communication policy. This policy should outline the expectations, responsibilities, and proper channels for communication. It sets standards so that everyone's on the same page. And third, organizations need to encourage open communication by creating a culture of transparency and trust. Employees will feel more comfortable sharing ideas, giving feedback, and raising concerns. So, with the right training, clear policies, and an open culture, communication in any organization can be greatly improved. Thank you.